That's pretty amazing that they have been able to go back to landscape for live stream. I'm not into portraits. What is portrait anyway? What does it have to be a longer, more tall? Why does it have to be a taller than wider feature? Why does that got to be portrait? Why can't portrait be like landscape? All right. So I just want to talk about how I didn't do much today. I just sat around today in my van and not really go anywhere. I didn't drive not even a half mile away from my location. It's been that way for the past couple of days. Just been enjoying the laziness, the colder, the more stable weather. Just sitting around and enjoying that. The quiet. It's not so hectic. I thought it would be a lot more busy around here. I thought this city would be more active trying to get rid of people. Oh, I see Andy's got two hands up. Um, let's see. Oh yeah, we were. Yeah, I was on this island in the Pacific. I'm not sure exactly where. I know that you said that you know the reasons you were in the island that you were at and all that. I don't know if I want to go into if I should go into detail about that. But yeah, I was kind of intending to go to the library today, but I got sidetracked. I got a little sidetracked today, and then just got lazy after that. Let me just say, as a result of being sidetracked, I need to wash a lot of things. I got a lot of dirty things in this vehicle that need to be washed because I got sidetracked instead of going to the library. And this library is only open 5 days a week. It was closed on Sunday and Monday. That seems to be what's the standard for Oregon, is to close all libraries on Mondays. I mean, it's kind of standard for all states to close on Sundays. Even in, well, yeah, even in kind of big cities. I think in Washington too, it's a bit of a standard. So I'd like to go to the library tomorrow. I think I can schedule that. As much as I'd like to cook something, cook more cheese sandwiches with toasted bread and then experiment with some tomatoes. As much as I like that, I'm getting back into cheese again. That's something that scared me for the longest time. I thought I was dying of a heart attack. Maybe those heart attacks will come back. But I'm enjoying the cheese. I think part of the reason I don't get heart attacks as much is because I'm exercising my legs more. I'm doing more of those side squats to hit the inner part of the muscle on the knee, and and I can continue to do that a lot. It actually feels very therapeutic, as opposed to doing the forward lunges. I do side to side lunges, and then I feel it feels like a therapy, and then it gets the blood going, and then I'm just I'm just not getting the heart attacks as a result. Strengthening the that movement, strengthening with that movement seems to prevent the heart attacks. Those feelings where it's just like there's no circulation going down below, so it's all getting congested up above. So that's pretty cool. I enjoy that. Uh, but yeah, I got sidetracked today, and and it was because I wanted to take a shortcut behind the Walmart. I was looking for a shortcut that I thought might connect the hotel to the Walmart, and there is no such shortcut. But I discovered something else that because I did see a little bit of a trail, and I didn't want to take the trail. I was hesitant to take the trail coming to the Walmart from where I was parked, because I get out of the van and then I'll go for a walk. I park at the state park and then walk to the Walmart's less than half a mile away. Mostly it was on the road, but now I know about this trail that I could take to get me off of the road, which the road isn't even that busy anyway. And I'm not far from the ocean. Got an ocean view from practically the Walmart. The ocean view from a Walmart. So this is one of the better located Walmarts in my opinion. And a lot of other people have been attracted to this area, and they gotta run them out because other people get a little too comfortable hanging out around here. I see Robert gave a wave. So all right, appreciate that. Robots, robot. So yeah, I'm in a very comfortable area as compared to where I was just a few days ago. Further inland, further east, and in more dramatic temperature ranges. I come here to the coast and get relief. Straight west to the coast and get an enormous amount of relief. I will say though, I was very nervous about coming here because I know how seaside is. I know how other cities on the coast are. They think that they're sitting on gold. They're the golden cities because they're on the ocean. And this city is a little bit unique from that, a little bit different. There is a lot of traffic. I was hesitant to come into the city on the first night. I slept, as suggested by AI. I asked, "What are people saying about parking in this city?" And AI was like, "The guards, the security are telling people that they should park on the gravel turnouts off of Highway 20." So I did that, and that was not easy to do because there's cars going 55 miles an hour. There's, every minute there's a car going by, at least several cars going by a minute. It's a very busy highway. And then trying to find this turnout in the nighttime. I found it during the daytime, looking on the Google Maps, marked it, and then marked it for my GPS, the Garmin. And then I drove by it once, got familiar with it, and then turned around and turned in. I considered a side road, but the house has a security camera, and that startled me. They also had a light, a spotlight that turns on when you get close to their house off of this side road. But before that house, there was a farmer's stand, which surprised me. I didn't really look at that farmer's stand. How it's like one property, it kind of tries to be more inviting and sell things off the side of the side road, and then another is trying to show security that they got a high security and are watching closely what you do, because I bet some people have parked on that side road, tried to, and at least got recorded by the people. So I wasn't about to stick around there. I toughed it out off the side of the highway, a very busy highway. And yeah, I got up early, 5:30. It was a little annoying throughout much of the nights on a Saturday. And then come into town, and I learned that the gravel turnouts kind of more mean in the city. There's some gravel turnouts very close to this Walmart, but the AI told me about gravel turnouts in Highway 20, and I don't know. I just Highway 20, Highway 20. It's an option. It is an option, but it's a terrible option. I wouldn't recommend trying to sleep on the side roads, the turnouts off of Highway 20. Maybe a side road. I've seen some turnouts off the side roads. Yeah, Wisconsin, I'll probably go over through the northern part of the Wisconsin area. I'll probably come in the upper peninsula of Michigan and then go south. Try to get a little back on track for checking out the eastern half of the country. So I guess, yeah, you could say I'll be going when the summer hits. I want to just go across the Montana and North Dakota and all that. just stick with the northern Canadian border. I'll see what AI says about crossing into Canada. Maybe you can make a good argument for me to be able to cross into Canada. I know that you're allowed to get to Alaska. That's kind of a direction to consider for the summertime. Go to Alaska. I'm already far enough north in a way. Maybe I might just do that since I'm over here. Just go to Alaska. I'll have to ask AI about getting to Alaska. What are my options? Can I just go through Canada? You know, do they what kind of harassment will they give me? That's something to look into. But those prices that you see pictures of for food in Alaska, it's incredible. I have a van, so they'll probably charge me a little bit more. There's for a corn. Oh yeah, I wanted to check that out. The coin operated shower. That's south of me. I want to mention exactly. Yeah. That's a big donation. I'll have to really check it out. All right. That's kind of all right. Thank you. Yeah, that's not going to be tomorrow. But I will check it out. I know I just put up like a vlog today. I got a couple of vlogs in savings in this account. I just kind of put them up, put things together, and then just release the videos over time. Just I could just release them all at once. I don't know. I just mess around with it. And yeah, I need to clean things. Okay, I have some dirty things in this van now because I got sidetracked. I got sidetracked. Yeah, Andy's was really helpful with me being in jail. He talked to me through email. It was great. That was really something that helped me. Like doing these live streams. It's just kind of like instead of talking, I'd write my thoughts down. Just whatever, the anxieties, the things that are just concerns. I just write them in jail and then email them to Andy. Let him see what he thinks. So Andy's been just an incredible, generous person for me. I don't know how to. I mean, it's I don't know how to describe it. It definitely helped get me through jail, at least with the problems that came about within. And I guess I'm still kind of reeling from it. I'm still thinking about jail. I'm thinking about, what would I be doing at this time in jail? And just thinking about the guys that are still there that I spent a lot of time with. There's still a lot of jail stuff going on. And I'm recovering from the jail by trying to get things that I lost. Because it's not just about being in jail, it's also about recovering everything. I lost pretty much everything. I didn't have scissors. I finally bought some scissors because a knife really is not satisfactory for cutting hair or cutting cloth. Because one guy gave me blue jeans, and that was pretty nice. So yeah, I got some scissors again. Yeah, I got this with the sidetrack. I took the trail next to this Walmart, and I started seeing all kinds of homeless abandonments, a lot of abandoned homeless encampments. And I would count about 30 of them. There was probably 30 people, probably not all at once. Maybe at certain times. About 30 homeless camps, probably 30 people just living on the hillside with a view of the ocean next to the Walmart with Wi-Fi connection. They they had a lot living in the woods just next here, and it's raining right now. then they would put up with that. But I mean, this is a stable temperature, so to deal with the rain can be a little bit more tolerable in the stabilized ocean. The cushion from that the ocean provides for temperature fluctuations, they don't need as much. Maybe one sleeping bag a person. They don't need so much. And yeah, everything was abandoned when I checked it out today. In different states of disrepair, they look like the primary objective. Well, let me just say that that's state park property, state property right next to the Walmart here. So the people were sleeping on state property. And the only reason I know that is because uh, there's a sign, like three signs. Two of them were knocked down. I saw those two knocked down. But they're saying that back in May, April, back in April, the state park was taking a hard stance and telling people they had 72 hours to clear out. So they went in. The homeless people got to the point where they had to be removed, and that's unfortunate. Yeah, but that happens a lot with homeless camps. I remember reading about how there was this, like, a regular town and village people just living I guess regular pioneer town lives, who were living up in Forks, Washington, and they just abandoned their stuff. They left pots and plates behind. They left kitchen utensils. They just left it behind, up and left. And that's that's interesting to me. I never really heard about that type of activity before, but I saw it today. Again, I've seen it in the past. Since I read that, before I started discovering homeless camps, because you don't see them around Wisconsin. You get to the West Coast, you don't see them around Louisiana. You don't see them you see them less and less in the Midwest. They're a lot more numerous on the West Coast. But Forks, Washington, that's not too far from the West Coast. And there was this report. There was a document that saying that they seem to have left in a hurry. And that seems to happen quite a bit with homeless in their homeless camps. They leave in a hurry. They leave a lot behind because they just can't carry a lot. And it's reflects the pioneer days. The pioneers couldn't take a whole lot with themselves. And if they spend enough time in one spot, they start accumulating things over time, and then suddenly there's this violent uprising where they got to leave immediately. And I wonder, it's not just about Indians or Native Americans being put on the trail of tears in some way. I would compare the tweakers to pioneers. I think there's some similarities the way they talk. How would they have been tweakers back in the, I don't know, late 1800s? I'm not sure the exact date. I don't think I could look it up either. AI would be able to find it for sure too, but I don't think I could find it. Oh, I see there's Annie doing business as Annie. Right? I don't think I'll be able to get on because I've been having trouble connecting with this tablet. If I were to ask the tablets, were there any documentation about the pioneers being evacuated from came on. All right, I'm gonna ask then if it fully connects. I think it's fully connected. I'm gonna ask the AI quick because I've been curious about this. Now that I'm talking about it, let's see if AI can figure things out. Hello, can you hear me? Hello.
Hey there, how's it going?
Okay, I wanted to ask you about an incident that happened in Forks, Washington. Forks, Washington, where during the pioneer days, where there seemed to have been like an evacuation of pioneers. I'm not sure of the dates, but there was somebody who made a report or a documentation about it, where the people who left Forks seemed to have left in a hurry and left plates. They left kitchen utensils behind. They left things behind, and it made it look like they left in a rush. Is there any historical documentation about this incident?
It looks like there isn't any documented historical
Hmm.
record of a mass evacuation in Forks, Washington during the pioneer days. The town's settlement began in the late 1870s, and there's no known record of settlers leaving in a hurry and abandoning their belongings en masse. However, if you're curious, you might want to reach out to local historical societies.
Yeah, that's the thing that the AI falls short on is local information. It's just I read it somewhere, and it might have been in a museum. I know I like to visit museums whenever I can. I might have visited a free museum, maybe around Forks. It doesn't always have to be Forks directly either. I could have been in a city a few cities away, and they have this documentation about another city that I read. So there's a long way we can go to contributing to AI. It may be able to distill the information it's already got and improve itself, but there's a lot of documentation it's not able to access because it's just not put on the internet. Well, that's how I mean I don't have documentation. I'm documenting what happened, what I've observed today, and that was homeless camps nearby, right next to this Walmart, within Wi-Fi range. I was standing where a homeless camp was and getting on the Wi-Fi, so they were living pretty comfortably, and so I dug through, ouch, quite a few Walmarts or quite a few of those camps, and I'd count about 30 people, roughly. I think some had, there were some females, I believe there was some female clothing left behind, tents, sleeping bags, all kinds of utensils. Uh, I got a bucket. There might have been some children. I got a Ernie toy, so this is supposed to float, I guess. Maybe I'll play with it on the in a video in some with some water. Just I got two knives, but if I had known about this camp, when I got out of jail, I wouldn't have had to buy any extra blankets. I could have just come over here and gotten all the blankets I needed practically. Just needed to clean them up. But I drove by this area. I'm sure there's plenty of other areas. Yeah, I got some knives. I don't really have. One's a fixed blade and the other's a folding blade. I don't know where that I put that folding blade. I'm not exactly happy with the folding blade. This is something I would give away to somebody if I come across the viewer. If anybody wants to meet me, I'll give you a free knife. All right. So I'm yeah, I got ID. Yeah, I got some ID. I got a Washington driver's license now. Cuz I don't have to bring a birth certificate. I'm already established in Washington. So my credentials are all up to date. Um yeah, so I did a little digging through abandoned homeless stuff. There's food. Nope, no, I'm not still in Washington. I'm on the coast. I'm in Newport, Oregon. So, oh, how's my tooth feeling? Yeah, I don't know. It's a little bit of swelling in the gum. No, there's no pain. It's feeling fine. I got a great tooth. It's improving since I got out of jail. It was getting worse in jail for sure. It's a nice one. Oh, yeah. Annie, you got a nice a nice something nice. I found an air mattress. I know I mentioned to Annie I got an air mattress, and I I was stupid testing it out in the woods, and I think I punched a hole in it. I blew it up, and it seemed to hold air, and then I lay on it, and I think I punched a hole in it because I didn't. You need to lay a soft ground underneath it, so I look underneath and I see a hole. It looked like a fresh hole that I created. I think that it's an older. I think it's an older one that because a lot of the stuff I got in my van now are are older fabrics. I got towels. I got 5 sleeping bags, 1 fleece, 2 knives, that bucket, my new toy. Let's see. Oh, some towels. I got some. For showering, you got towels to dry yourself off. I got two. I grabbed 2 of those because they were pretty nice. Yeah, let's see. Oh, I got a pair of pants, extra large pants. I think I could fit in those, and it's a fabric that seems to last. So, uh, even after everything was gone through, and apparently, the state police, the state park rangers, they keep some of the stuff. They say if you want to claim anything, come to our office. And there's a lot that the state park didn't take out of this this homeless encampment. So whatever whatever they took, they completely abandoned sleeping bags. And I felt that some of these sleeping bags are good. They could use a wash. I think they got a little too much dust on them. They smell like they're from the woods. They don't smell like they're mold. I theorize that because there's a lot of pine trees around, it keeps the soil more acidic than pine needles and the pine tar. It's acidic, so that fights back against the mold a little bit better. So I think maybe that could help preserve, at least prevent mold from developing too much. But yeah, things are hanging. Or there's a good towel, a good sleeping bag hanging right on a branch. I thought, immediately those are good, still in good enough shape. Uh, but yeah, there's things still in this homeless camp from them being evicted back in April of 2025. So in that time, this stuff has been sitting there at the very least. And there's a couple of rips and tears in some of these sleeping bags, but overall, it's great. I could just jump in the back and jump on nice soft cushion. It's great. Teapots. Oh, yeah. Let's. Nope. I'm not in a rush to get teapots. I'm kind of like leaning towards not ever boiling tea again, by the way they report these tea bags and the harmful just how harmful it can be to boil them. I would be willing to boil the tea if I could get it in loose leaf form, but if it's in a bag, I'm hesitant to boil in the bag, regardless if it's paper or plastic. I want loose leaf tea, and I gotta say I am severely disappointed in Fred Meyer getting rid of their bulk herb section. They've kept the peanut butter machines, some Fred Meyers, but they've gotten rid of their bulk herb section. Uh, but yeah. So let's see. Gonna start drinking grass. Yeah, there's some grass around here that I probably could pluck and boil up. I haven't gotten around to it yet. I've been surprised that chives grow in Oregon. I had no idea. I guess maybe I haven't ever been in Oregon in the springtime. And we're talking January. The chives are coming up in Oregon in January. And like in Wisconsin, it's leeks, but you get further south and apparently further west, you got chives. and I know chives are all over Kansas, Illinois, just Missouri, just all that mid section of the country. Yeah, I did see a particular mushroom that's a hallucinogen in Warrenton, Oregon. So that's something that's something to take pictures of. That's about as far as I can go with it. Oh, that's that mushroom. I forget, Amanita muscaria. Enjoying van life. Yeah, I guess the van is it's more of a van life than a car life living situation. See, oh, you have not seen chives in northern Washington grow in Oregon and Washington. I did see in Vancouver chives. I saw chives in Vancouver, but I don't know. Do they grow even further north? I mean, the conditions are I guess chives are pretty hardy. They can grow anywhere. I was surprised. I don't recall seeing them in Idaho. So you know that's something that goes good with potatoes. I like to eat. I'd like to pick chives. There's some places chives do better than others, but they are growing around these parts. Let's see. There's a mushroom in the beach of California. Slippery elm. I ain't seen no slippery elm. The furthest west I've seen slippery elm so far is Idaho, and that was in Boise, Idaho. I'm not. They might grow around here. There's the hemlock trees. I don't know. It's this climate is yeah this climate yeah I'll never forget the rain shadow. That's the most amazing feature of geography that I'll ever one of the most amazing features of geography I'll ever learn. That's not something you forget, especially having to deal with all the rain like it's raining right now. But yeah, I checked out this homeless camp today and I got a few free things that nobody else wanted. I'm sure plenty of other people have been through the area. So I have a need for still more blanket material, more more sleeping bags, whatever I can get to cover up, to lay on for the winter time for cold weather. All right, and then I got my overalls, which I found in McMinnville, Oregon. I took them from a homeless person's shopping cart, I guess. It was an abandoned shopping cart, in my opinion. So I've been picking up things. I don't think I would have picked these things up in Louisiana if I wanted to be a resident, get released from jail and just stick around Louisiana. I don't think I would have been picking up pieces like this here and there, all over, just trying to get things back that I used to have. It's like those places suck the life out of you. Kansas, Louisiana, those parts of the country, they suck things from you. But then I come over here and I'm given things. There in McMinnville, Oregon, there's 5 days a week. You got a soup kitchen. Where do you hear about soup kitchens 5 days a week in Louisiana? All right, food banks, and then just clothing all over. Just you pick and choose what you want. Useful utensils, knives. Just pick up a lot of things that are useful around here. And that's the thing. It's like, homeless people can accumulate quite a few things and then instantly lose it because they're living on somebody else's property, and that's it. Those overalls are sweet. Be careful. They may have blankets they didn't like in the natives. Yeah, I think there's more dust in these sleeping bags and blankets I need to wash out. I'm not worried about disease because I believe the people were evicted months and months ago, and disease can't linger like that. The natural. I was looking for. I was trying to shake things out carefully, turn things over carefully because I'm not sure how the snakes population is. There's certainly no mosquitoes in this kind of weather. And something about this weather that the mosquitoes can't really deal with very well. Let's see. Purchase. I don't have. I don't make. I'm making less and less every day. I'm losing subscribers every day. I'm losing money every day. And there's there's no money to invest in anything. I'm just I'm happy to find things in homeless camps. All right. That's and well, in generosity with donations too, that helps a lot. It's a multi thing, but to think about investing money in property, it's I don't think that's going to happen in this lifetime. This Natchidus wants you to come back to their mart. Yeah, yeah, Natchidus. I still have some calls to make over there. I gotta ask them more questions, try to figure things out. I hope that getting my bond is settled. I hope it's in the mail. It's settled with them in the mail. But if it's supposed to come this week. I guess they said if they sent it out, they should have sent it out last week. I guess. Let's let's see. So yeah, it's kind of easy to accumulate stuff off of other people, especially homeless people. I would not. I mean, how do you have this same situation with rich people? It's like, yeah, I can walk through a homeless camp and pick and choose what I want to take because they got ran out. But that doesn't happen with rich people. They hold on to their stuff. They're more about storage wars, I guess. You have auctions for the storage, or the descendants will auction their stuff off. You don't just find rich people's stuff. This is all poor people, and poor people losing things to the authority figures, and then that's one thing that inspires me to be a little resistant to the authority figures is seeing this. But I mean, I kind of blame the homeless too for getting addicted to dope. The paper dope is really popular in Louisiana jails. Let's see, really liked North Dakota. I know you had some crappy, but I made lots of. Oh yeah, you can make a lot of money in the. I don't know what that zone is. It's the I don't know, some kind of oil zone there. Cash App and PayPal. Yep, yeah, I got both of those. The meth heads pick through your event. Yeah, the meth heads. That's the thing. I got sucked dry in Kansas because of my arrest, and now I'm picking up the pieces. What else am I? I wanted to measure something with a tape measure the other day, and I'm like, oh yeah, the meth heads got that too. um, there every so often I'm like, oh yeah, I need to use this tool. Or I'd like to use this something, and I'm like, oh, the meth heads got that. That's right. Whatever they're doing with it, I hope they're enjoying it, not letting it go to waste. I mean, I didn't use my tape measure every day. I hope they are enjoying my drone, my the three cameras they got, the um a lot of those electronics, the 10-inch tablets. I think they got the 10-inch tablets. I'm missing a tablet. They let me keep my cracked tablets. That was nice of them. The one that I reset because I was about to get rid of it anyway. Uh, yeah, a lot of stuff. Yeah, it's amazing the things that you can. It's amazing how much government can screw you over with an arrest, and when they want to put you in for longer than if they put you in for 3 months, that's it. If you're living on the road, they throw you in jail for 3 months. All your stuff is going to be gone. Because I mean, that's like playing the time limits game with you. The tow truck company has legally authorized to sell your stuff after 30 days. So a comfortable 3 month sentence ensures that you lose all your stuff, and then when they release you from jail, you have nothing. And that's what happens to a lot of people. I had some help, uh, and it's like I wonder, what is it like for people who don't get that help? People who are over detained. It's an over detention. People who get suffer an over detention, and then are released with nothing. And they don't give you anything being released from jail. There's no bus tickets. In Boise, Idaho, they'll give a bus ticket. I mean, that's a little bit of help, at least to help me after 4 days to get back to my car and yeah, try to recover. I can recover after 4 days in jail, but 3 months, a month even. That's starting the time limits. The prescription period is what they want to call it in Louisiana, and then that separates. Then they can legally separate me from my belongings since I failed to recover. I failed to respond to their notification. So they play that game, and then they want to make examples out of people who post on social media because they want to be secretive. I think the more secretive they are, the more they want to push back against people who are not so secretive, and it goes back and forth like that. Uh, Favorite video: flying a drone at Rattlesnake Mound. That sounds familiar. I forget the state that was in. That sounds familiar. Yeah, you like that? Yeah, I want to get another drone. I'm just not enthused about the drones getting the same one. I want that 360 drone, but there's only one brand, and it's not cheap either. But I'd really like to just edit afterward instead of because it's a headache to have to try to turn the drone to get the right shot. I'd rather just fly over it, not have to worry about spinning around and then getting back on course properly. I just want to fly over it and then maybe do a circle, whatever, and then go back in and make the edits of what angles I want to focus on. Have a chance to look around and see maybe I missed something. Yeah, it's to have to focus on a narrow camera that's maybe only 130 degrees field of vision. It's it I can't I think I could probably talk more while flying if it's a more of a 360 drone because I'm just not. I mean, I don't think I'll be worried that much about turning the drone because when I turn it to the left or something, then I got to think about moving to the right, and then I go straight, then I go straight, turn it to the left, turn it to the right, then I got to think about moving to the left or something. I don't know. It's just I think I don't know why more companies don't do 360 drones. That seems like the future to me. And especially with this first one that's come out, they can make it under 250 grams. So I don't even need to get a pilot's license for it. But okay, let's see. I know I saw that somebody asked about radishes, and that's probably the second time about radishes. I don't know why it's got to be a question with it. I don't know why you need to ask that so much. That's I really like some of your the yeah take okay yeah I don't think I'm ever gonna make videos that bring back old times. It's just moving forward. I'm just documenting what I'm doing. That's all. It's just whatever looks interesting. Maybe my interests change over time. Like I've been going back and forth quite a bit, driving from the same parking spot back to here, and just this last time I just didn't even bother recording because it's the same thing. So uh, it's whatever sounds interesting, whatever I'm motivated about. And tonight I'm kind of feeling a little bit happier, a little bit more motivated to talk about my finds in the abandoned homeless camp today. And I plan on cleaning most of the stuff, maybe not all at once. I want to find a laundromat and get that dust out. I beat it out as much as I can. I got this I got this brush. I'd never intended for it to be used to clean out or to clean off sleeping bags. I got it more for with the intention of cleaning my brush. So I brush my hair, and then I want to clean off the brush too, because it's a process there. Clean it off every time. Um, but tonight, this was my sleeping bag brush, and yeah, it's pretty nice to gain that extra cushion. And it just, yeah, that's what makes it fun to get out and take different routes. Because I mean, I don't know, I just decided to walk behind the Walmarts and check it out. I'm like, hey, maybe there's a trail, since there's a hotel behind this Walmart. Maybe there's a trail connecting them, and there isn't. But there's all those homeless camps. And there was this time in Half Moon Bay, California, which is just west of San Francisco, at the Safeway at Half Moon Bay, California. I decided to walk behind that Safeway. I don't know, I don't recall if I heard about homeless camps back there, but Half Moon Bay is really. Oh, you been there? Yeah, I recorded. There was like three homeless guys back there hanging out. So I was a little hesitant about recording. I wish I was braver recording around people, but I recorded as best I could. I got up to the edge of the park, their pavement, and looked into the forest and just seen it covered in trash. And I was just aghast at that. And there's homeless people who are just living behind the Safeway in Half Moon Bay. A very nice area. The weather is like just 10 to, it's if it's like 80 degrees and stifling. More in San Francisco. Well, not San Francisco so much. Maybe like a San Jose, just south of San Francisco. Just you go over the mountains, you go through the mountains, and they separate the coast. But I mean, being on the coast too makes a big difference. Being at Half Moon Bay makes a big difference right on the coast. There's like easily a 10-degree difference. It could be like 80 degrees east of Half Moon Bay, just on the other side of the mountains, but it's like 60. It's like 65, or just a nice temperature right in Half Moon Bay. So the homeless people are really enjoying that. You don't need a house to enjoy that, and it doesn't rain that badly around there. The rain, I think the rain curtain starts more further north than California, along the coast, in that city, Eureka. Eureka seems to be like on the line. I'm taking a guess. It's probably more of a cushion, that's a bigger, wider barrier. But it's North California, Eureka, California, where it gets really rainy, but you get far enough south and the rain clouds just don't reach. So okay, Joe knows. Yeah. Yeah, but there was a homeless camp there, and it looked abandoned, and I recorded it, and I just was like, I was kind of complaining, I guess, or I was just talking in a way that made Half Moon Bay look kind of bad, I guess, and um, posted it, and I think some people might have gotten offended by that. Uh, at some point after that, and that was like what, 2016, maybe 2017, people started doing this big cleanup thing where they're showing their trash bags full of roadside trash. They're cleaning up areas. They're showing the before and after pictures of cleaning up. And I saw that. And then a year after that, somebody was like, I think on that video, they're like, yeah, it's all cleaned up now. they they turned it around, I guess. I have to go. Well, I don't know if I'll get that far south, but it'd be nice to see Half Moon Bay again because I know the library's in a different spot. The new library was under construction at the time I was there, so I'm sure it's well established now in a different part of the city. So yeah, I have nothing to say nice about Louisiana, that's for sure. But yeah, I'm being treated fairly is what I like to say, at least in other cities and other states. I mean, Mississippi was a surprise that they treated me so nice. When I expected them to be much worse. Yeah, I was in Washington for a little bit, but I drove east of New Orleans. I don't think I want to go back to Washington unless if I'll look into what I'll see what AI says about adventuring in Alaska, because Washington would just be a pathway back up to Alaska for me if I were to do Alaska, but I don't know. I'd like to just go east, even though I know how bad east can be. Um, I just keep moving. Oh, all right. Somebody's going to New Orleans. Yeah, that's something to do, I guess. Oh, you know Agate Beach? Yeah, I know Agate Beach, Agate Beach, and but there's no agates. I found some agates. Let's see, in Washington on the beach, um, west of Aberdeen, Washington. The government's a scammer. The city courts scams people. I wouldn't mess with that states with their prescription periods. You run out of time, you run out of rights. That's how it works. Oh, sure. I'll just find some money somewhere. So yeah, I acquired some things. I'm glad I did it before this rain. Huge agates from the ocean is able to bring up huge agates. I got one maybe like the size of my thumb. That's about it. Before Mason City. Mason City sounds familiar. I think I might have had an issue in Mason City with the the fairgrounds manager. That was, man, I think that was Mason City. I had an issue with a cop there, and I don't think he knew about my issue with the fairgrounds manager. I had a separate video. Your spirits are letting you interact with the chat. Okay, yeah, I try to interact, but I'm not very quick thinking on what people say. But yeah, Mason City. I was just like, I think about Mason City. I think it's Mason City. I think about the fairgrounds where I was kind of run out off the fairgrounds, and that's the problem with fairgrounds. I've been run out of fairgrounds before. We're just relaxing too much on the fairgrounds. It's private property. It's a business. They got to make money. They don't make money off of bums hanging out in the fairgrounds, using their bathrooms. So I didn't pay to use their bathrooms. So I argued with this manager on the fairgrounds, and he was like, just get off my property, and because he didn't like me using his bathrooms, I told him to just lock them up. But yeah, he just he told me to get off the property, and I don't know why, but I was on my bicycle, and I started bicycling away. I just started leaving, and there's this guy on a golf cart who's working on the property, who I bicycled by, and he didn't know what was going on. We just bicycled past each other. I was leaving, and he was um, just going to the manager, and the manager's like, "Get that guy!" As I was bicycling off the fairgrounds property, and so the guy turns around and starts chasing after me, and that got me going. I started increasing my speed, and then I got off the fairgrounds property a pretty good ways, and then he was like, "Come on back," and I'm like, "You come and get me." But he stopped right at the fairgrounds line. He wouldn't continue chasing me off of the fairgrounds, and he was trying to encourage me to come back to the fairgrounds property. I thought that was interesting. I thought maybe they might call the cops on me after that, so I just started being a little stealthier on my bicycling behind buildings and stuff. Had my blood going. I don't know if that's really great for the health, but it's certainly, you know what, and having the exercise and all that, and be on alert for any problems is a stress, but well, it's past now. Yeah, I recorded a little bit. Let's see. You're quick enough to go off about. Oh, why are we asking about radishes? That's I found tiny agates. Oh, Watford. Okay, okay. Yeah, I found agates in Wisconsin. So they're not. Agates are everywhere. I mean, they're not just on the ocean beach. So yeah. So I've gained some homeless stuff today, and that was a surprise. I've recorded it, so in some future video, there's going to be a little tour of this abandoned homeless camp, and that's what I want to just. I'm just kind of putting the things out in chronological order. I'm not doing anything fancy. Whatever I record, I just post. So what I posted today might have been from a month ago. I should be keeping up on that better. I'd rather have things be more recent. But yeah, it's just something to try to keep up on when I go to the library tomorrow. I want to post or just make more stitch more clips together, and then post them whenever, 30-minute clips at a time or so. And I can't even remember all the stuff. I know I just recorded. I recorded a dog barking at me. The fence was right along the sidewalk, and they had some big dogs. So I guess that was something. I took different routes, checking things out. I recorded another covered bridge. They have covered bridges in Oregon. I know that the covered bridges in Iowa are pretty popular. A Clint Eastwood film came out about him. He was like he played a photographer of covered bridges, and then he met a woman who he had a romantic relationship with in the movie, based on his visiting the Iowa covered bridges. I visited a couple of those bridges. I slept next to a covered bridge, and I think that was Iowa. Just simply because there was a big storm coming in, all windy, and this covered bridge was like next to a hillside, which absorbed a lot of the wind. I never felt any of the wind. It was incredible. It felt really good. But this covered bridge I was at in Oregon just a couple of days ago, they got signs saying don't park here overnight. So I recorded that too, just the signs that say that. Because I was kind of considering sleeping next to yeah, the bridges of Madison County, something like that. So yeah, they got covered bridges. There was two covered bridges. I only visited one here in Oregon. Just they make covered bridges every so often, or they last, and then become tourist destinations. They relocate them sometimes. This one was over a river. Some like in Iowa, there's one that a covered bridge that they had to relocate, and it wasn't really over a river anymore. So they just kind of dug out a pool, dug out a ground for pool or for water, so it looked like it was over water in some way. Uh, yeah. So that was the excitement for today. Besides looking around the homeless encampment stuff, I'm just getting used to it now. It's a different smell in here, and I'm gonna clean that stuff eventually. But it's tolerable. I'm not feeling sick after a number of hours sitting in here with. It's a woodsy smell, as what the sleeping bags and blankets have collected. They don't really smell moldy. It's just woodsy and dusty. A little bit of dustiness too. Some of that dust is going to need to be washed out. I'll just take them to the washers and do that a little bit. A little bit of a soap patching job can be done on some parts of the sleeping bags, but I think uh, yeah, even maybe take them to the ocean and rinse them out, right? I think I'll probably stay in this city for maybe a couple more days. At least tomorrow, I want to check out the library. I haven't even pulled off my bicycle to go bicycling. I've been kind of lazy, I guess. I cut a few sticks. Let's see, because I bought this saw. This wasn't it. This is a $30 saw. So I'm cutting sticks for exercise, playing around with that. My shoulder is so bad I can't even. I'm not even going to get a 6-foot stick anymore. I can't even hold my hand back behind my head anymore. The shoulder's so bad. You're supposed to be able to, or I mean, with this left arm, I can grab my shoulder and raise my elbow up and down, free and clear, no problems. But I do it with this arm, and I just can't. It's so painful and stiff. I got some real problems with this right shoulder. Don't wet them in the ocean; they will smell to high heaven. Yeah, I got my sticks from the ocean, from the beach, pretty much too, because that's why I grabbed these sticks. I can usually trust wood when it's like affected by the water. Maybe if it's alongside a river or yeah, the ocean. The ocean seems to help debark them and treat them. The wood seems to get treated better by water. So that's where I got some sticks. No, I won't soak. I did find a blanket on the beach though, and a fleece blanket. That's pretty much new. So I took that. That was pretty cool. Yeah, the my shoulder is just I can't. I don't know what I can do anymore. I stopped waking up with shoulder pains for the past couple of nights at least, and I think it's maybe because of this stick. I've been doing different exercises with this stick and for my side to side lunges. Changing up my hand positioning might affect my shoulder better. Let's see. Cool red wood sticks. Redwood? I haven't really noticed redwood. I know there's these red bushes. There's the wood is the tips of the wood is reddish. Yeah, magnets help with the pain for sure. I'll tell you what. I'll show it a little bit. I cut myself on my hands, okay, and it was kind of deep because I was doing something stupid and cutting towards me, and then I cut my hand, and it was kind of hurting. But what I did to quickly get rid of the pain was just grab my magnets and hold on to them, and that settled the nerves at least. It doesn't stop the bleeding. It doesn't. I don't know if it accelerates repair, but it tells the nerves to settle down. It settles down the nerves, so that I didn't really suffer irritation, and it stopped bleeding now. And I just kind of let the blood dry, not treat it. I wanted to squeeze the blood out so it cleans it out, and then just let the blood dry. Hold on to the magnets to stop any little painful irritations. In fact, I just opened it up again, just making a fist. So it's kind of a deep cut, cutting towards me, cutting the wood. Oh yeah, see, with the metal detector thing, there's this guy who, for the past couple of days, has been using a metal detector around the park where I'm parked. And now that I discovered this homeless camp, I would have suggested to him to go take his metal detector to check out the abandoned homeless camp. I bet he would have enjoyed himself a lot more doing that. But I mean, how could he not know about the homeless camp? I mean, wouldn't this be kind of a well-known thing? But if he's an outsider like me, I guess maybe he wouldn't know. I had to stumble upon it, like a lot of things I come across. It's a lot of is often from stumbling upon it by accident. Yeah, you don't ocean water. Yeah, I guess old sailors would dip their hands in the ocean water and in the sea water to if they have a cut that'll help heal it or whatever. But I'm not doing that. I'm fine with just letting it air out. Uh, why did the nail technician want to become? Oh, is this a joke? They were used to saying, "Let me see your hands." Okay, all right. Okay, nail technician. Yeah, you can make a little AI image of that. Tell AI to make an image of that joke and see what it comes up with. So that might be amusing. Old needles? Yeah, I didn't see any needles. That surprises me. I've seen piles and piles of needles, and I didn't see anything over here. I don't know what they're on exactly. I know what they're on in the jails in Louisiana for sure. that's that's open and clear. They do it practically right in front of the guards. I'm trying to create more images of life in jail, and some of the images, the AI is just not quite getting it. I'm using both ChatGPT and Google Gemini, using their image generators. And ChatGPT, of course, is the best one. But yeah, either one. I try to describe. Show me an image of an inmate talking with a guard, but the inmate has his hand down his pants and there's smoke coming out of his pants because I've seen that. But the AI is telling me it's too sexual. You can't do that. And I'm like, this wasn't really sexual. This was an inmate trying to hide his wick, his burning wick, by stuff. He's like looking around where to hide it, as the guards are coming in, and he was just like he put it down his pants, and its smoke was coming out of his pants, and the guard walked up to him and talked to him, and they just kind of had a casual conversation while he had smoke coming out of his pants, and it's like the guard said nothing. That just shows how bad they are in Natchitoches with the smoke, with the dope smoking. They just they don't see it, they don't smell it. Sometimes they'll make a comment about it, but they do very little about it, and it really wrecked my breathing. I was really creating a lot of phlegm and all that. Find some leeches. Leeches love magnets too. Okay. Yeah, they might. I know that leeches are supposed or magnets are supposed to like disturb sharks' sonar abilities. Maybe there's something with leeches. I should be. I'm keeping baking soda in this car. I noticed now. TikTok is coming out with all this great advice. It's like now that AIs come out, suddenly there's an explosion of hints and advice and what you can do with the littlest of things. And I don't know, for some reason I just recently learned that eggs will peel better if you put baking soda in the water. And I tried that, and my eggs now are actually peeling pretty decent, and it feels like a fluke. This is only the first time I've done it, and I didn't even boil with the baking soda the whole way. I couldn't find my baking soda right, or I couldn't reach my baking soda until the end. And then at the end, I stopped the boiling and then put the baking soda in, at least in the hot water, and I think it still worked that way. It like attaches to the eggshells and makes it just easier to peel the eggs. And sometimes I gotta just boil eggs. I can't just enjoy frying them because sometimes I'm not parked in a great spot and there's too many people around, or I kind of have to be in a hurry. So I just boil them just to make it more convenient, so I don't have to keep sliding this door open and closed. And this door is it's a little bit of a problem. I think I probably need to replace the rollers on it. Grok AI would make that image. Oh yeah, Grok made that image of the lady who got killed in Minneapolis in the Twin Cities. She was accused of running over the ICE agent, and somebody took a picture of her after she died, and then Grok could make an image of her in her bikini. There's a little movement about putting weird images of bikinis on people, and somehow somebody did that. I tried to find it, but that's an impossible image to find and impossible to create now. Now that that guardrail has been set, I'm sure it's can be found on 4chan though, in some way, because these commercial AIs are they got more guardrails than if you could put it on your own computer, then you could control it better. Go into the I don't know, however, go into the settings and remove all the guardrails. Just eliminate all the guardrails, and then ask your requests, ask your questions. Yeah, yeah. AI is pretty exciting. I'm not paying for AI. I was paying for AI before my arrest with ChatGPT, and I almost got stuck with paying $20 a month for 8 months while sitting in jail. But luckily, Robert was able to pull that. He was able. I told him, go. Stop my subscription to ChatGPT. I won't be able to use it for 8 months. And he didn't really know how. So I'm like, just ask ChatGPT how to stop this subscription, and then he was able to find a way I didn't even know was possible. You go through the Google App Store to stop your subscription. I was just going directly with ChatGPT. But yeah, and I'm glad that was the only subscription. That was the most expensive subscription that I had. Imagine if I had like a phone plan. You pay $100 a month. I would have still had to continue to pay that while in jail. But I didn't have that. See, if you're in Louisiana, you might want to keep your subscriptions down. Not really have any subscriptions, not really have any rent or bills, because you'll fall behind in Louisiana. That's what they do to people down there. They cause you to fall behind on everything, updates on your documents and payments and all that, just simply because they want to put you in jail for a long time. I mean, I met guys who spent half their lives in jail. I know my bunkmate, another white guy who I got along with, or we had an understanding with each other a little bit better. He was only 33, but I mean, we still had a better understanding of each other. He's not getting out till 2033, so he's still in there for a long time. So I was hanging out with guys that aren't getting out till, you know after 2040 and all this 17-year sentences, interacting with guys who have 17 year sentences. I mean, what do they care anymore? Especially with, they're putting people in jail on simpler on lower standards. They're putting people in for longer sentences with the over sentencing. They're over detaining us, obviously, but then they're also removing good time as well. There used to be, before August of 2024, you could get 50% off your time in jail for good time if you don't get in any fights or argue with the guards. They took that away pretty much, and you only get like 15% off, or you only have to serve 85%. So it's really minimal. It's not 50% anymore, and it doesn't even seem like it's worth it to even be concerned about. And I didn't get any of that anyway, being in the city courts. They don't even have the jurisdiction to put me on a good time, because I have no DOC numbers, the Department of Correction. uh, so the year before, you would have only done 4 months. Uh, uh, yeah, well, no, it would still go for more felonies too, not small misdemeanors. With small lower misdemeanors, you'd still spend the full time. So yeah, there's guys who could be sentenced longer and get out sooner than me. Is how it was set up, against how it works against me. I mean, but yeah, before 2024. So following the law, when the law changes, is just it's hard to it's hard to say, that we can't always follow the law strictly enough, because it's changing a lot. It's going back and forth, and in Louisiana, it's getting worse and worse. Of course, there's a truth in sentencing. It's something I want to look into more. I want the assistance of AI to discuss it further. All right, because there's questions, there's things I've forgotten. I think I'd like to talk about good time. It seems like an issue to talk about for the cop channel. I know I'm losing subscribers and getting less interest, but it's stuff that it helps pass the time. It's something that, and when I find the right place and time, and I want to talk about it, I'm gonna do it, because it's only a video. Did you start a channel on how to survive in a mobile urban? That's crazy. This is the video. This is the channel for that, I think. Yeah, city court is in Louisiana is a scam. They could throw you in jail for failure to ID. That's the power of the state government. They give the power to the city judges, and the city judges aren't limited to 6 months. Okay, it's 6 months each charge. I could have been in for 2 years with the four charges that the judge added to my failure to ID. I could have been in for 2.5 years in jail as a maximum. Failure to ID 6 months, and then failure to appears, and then an out of state bail jumping charge that they just kind of write up as they go along, and then that would have added up to 2.5 years in jail for a maximum. Uh, Fought the police. Yeah, I would have a better outcome, I think, if it would have been more in the district court. But the weird thing is, I think I I should be able to request district court, because under the USC, I I have a legal authority to request to be taken out of magistrate court and put into district court, you can do that as part of the USC. And they call it the USC. I called it the USCS, but I heard Bill O'Reilly call it the USC on one of his latest videos. So that's a better. It sounds like a better way to say it. United States Code, instead, because that would follow along the lines of more of the state code titles. LAC, the TAC, the Texas Administrative Code, Louisiana Administrative Code. You got the United States Code, not United States Code Service. I don't even know why the word service is used as part of that. They do say USCS, but you could just even shorten that to USC. And as a common understanding, I think people will know what you're referring to for the USC. Saying you had to appear. Oh yeah, that's the biggest issue is the judge believes that I was properly notified. So he said that in open court. He without me having a mailing address, he felt he didn't explain. I mean, there's a lot he doesn't explain, but he felt that I was properly notified, and that satisfied him to move forward with my conviction. So yeah, the past couple of days been relaxing. I enjoyed the calmer weather. I'd like to move on out of here though. I'm getting a little bit bored. I mean, it was interesting to check out that homeless camp. That was something different and new. The ocean is relaxing. I'd like to, yeah, go to the library tomorrow, bicycle around possibly, cook more. I'm overeating some delicious meals that I've been cooking lately, and I want to add to them too. How did they properly notify you? That's that's the thing. The judge, if you were to look at the transcripts for the trial, I guess, or the what do they call it? Contempt of court trial between me and the judge, he felt I was properly notified. Maybe there's something I missed. There's questions to ask about what's in the transcript. That's the thing. You got to pay like $3 a page for transcripts, and that's a lot of money. And I'm not that interested in getting it. It would be nicer if it would be just a $25 CD like Paducah, Kentucky does. But they have the technology for it, but they just don't have the willingness to go forward with that. I wasn't called. No, I didn't receive a call or get a mailing. Oh yeah, the way the city courts operate with objections is you make your objection, and then move on to the next question, and then object to that, and then the next question you object to that. You could just say that you're not going to answer questions, or you plead the fifth, and that still doesn't matter. You tell them that you plead the fifth, and it doesn't matter. I guess you'd ask for clarification on the during the hearing. But yeah, the objections, I mean, they're noted, but everything the judge says you want to object to, and every question they ask, I want to plead the fifth, but that's the railroading part is where they just keep practically asking you the same question over and over again. It seems to be like that, because you give the same answer. Giving the same answer is repeated. I plead the fifth. I plead the fifth. I'm not answering questions. I plead the fifth, and then it just gets to the point where it's like, okay, all you can do is protest after that. Okay, that's what it comes down to with city courts. I'm thinking without a jury present, they just kind of they perform this railroading operation on you. And it's just like, I'm thinking the next time I got to deal with city court, because the Wisconsin city court was pretty nasty too, but at least I didn't face jail time with that. With the West Milwaukee city court, they're just as nasty as Louisiana, but luckily they're restrained more by the state legislature. But yeah, they just continue saying after you plead the fifth, they'll just move on to another question that's similar, and then ask that, and I plead the fifth again. Then I plead the fifth. At some point, it's like, it's tiresome. I'm tired of saying it because this is two trials now where I've just sat and said I plead the fifth multiple times, and it's sickening to me to have to continue with that type of response. I just it has to turn into a protest. I don't see any other way. Where all I can do then at that point is, it's not a matter of being silent. It's just like I just I think being more aggressive with them is probably the better route. Just telling them, stop asking me questions. Stop asking me questions. Stop asking me. That seems like what it has to turn into. That seems what they're driving for in the way they conduct themselves anyway. Because trying to be this, this person who just, says, I'm not willing to answer that because I'm pleading the fifth, isn't enough. Stop asking me questions. Stop asking me questions. So you put your fingers in your ears and just say, stop asking me questions until you see their mouths stop moving. And then whatever, whatever conclusion they derive from that is up to them. But that seems to be, that's the behaviors that they take on. I don't think they get enough pushback. But yeah, I guess you would want to object to every question, object to every statement as best you can. And then, well, you got to explain your objection. So you don't just object and let the court decide what the objection's about. You go into detail about why the objection should stand. And then if they ask you a question, you say, stop asking me questions. I've already pled the fifth. But I mean, there's no guardrails in Louisiana. They tell you that getting a lawyer can hinder your case. So they're basing their law on that. But in Texas, it's like a lawyer can help your case. They approach your defense in that way. And they say, in Texas law, that if you tell the prosecutor that you want a lawyer, the prosecutor can't talk to you after that. There's a law about that. AI finds it easy. The Louisiana's like, hey, if you get a lawyer, they might screw it up for you. So, we're going to be hesitant about giving you a lawyer, because you are your best defendant, you are your best client, and all of that. You're your best work. And so they expect you to be a lawyer. Everybody that they want to accuse of a crime, they expect you to be more knowledgeable than them. And I can be, if they wouldn't also eliminate electronics from the courtroom, because I could easily bring in an AI to help ask questions and gather information. I could just have AI listening and then form questions based on the question response. It's gotten to that point where it can really assist, but that just makes Louisiana wanna ban this tool, which is a tool. They want to ban more tools from the courtroom, and they just want to have it between, they just want it to be this this one-upmanship. Who's the better person at one-upping the other? And of course, with the untrained one-up schooling, if I don't have any schooling on how to one-up the court, they're just picking on people, being bullies against people who don't have the training to be a bully themselves. And that's how the system works with the Napoleonic law. That's Napoleonic law. The only state in the nation has got Napoleonic law. Nobody else has it. So everybody's got a common understanding of common law in every other state but Louisiana. So you can't give them any consideration. And you look at Landry too, Governor Landry operating under the Napoleonic law. He's the last person I'd want to have as an envoy to Greenland. If the Greenlanders looked into his history and the history of the state he comes from, that's a terrible choice, and it's scary with the Speaker of the House being the third in line to be president. That's a disaster to have Mike Johnson chosen and to be put in that position, to have that with a Napoleonic law background. Anybody with a Louisiana background is bad is not somebody I would want to I would trust. Um, yeah. All right. So yeah, I was out a little bit today, enjoying the weather, and I don't know. I got some stuff. Um, I don't really see homeless people around. I did see that RV parked in this Walmart parking lot a little bit. That stayed a couple of days, but he must have gotten kicked out. He's gone now, and they don't want people sleeping here. I'm not sleeping here tonight. I'm just here making a little video, and yeah, I want to get over to my actual sleep spots, and yeah, it should be okay tonight as well. So yeah, I'm gonna stop this